This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
This is the Simplistic Reviews podcast. They talk movies. They talk TV. They talked Justin Bieber into getting roasted by convincing him a roast is some new type of spray tan.
Good luck, douchebag.
I'm your announcer, Julie. And is it too late to make any more ball jokes in regards to Deflategate?
Yes, it's been handled.
So you're telling me all the jokes about balls has been handled?
Yes.
Balls. Handled. You get it?
I got it. I got it.
Hey Valentine, you're really bustin'. My balls.
Could you just get on with it?
Fine, whatever. Here are your hosts, Matthew Stewart, DJ Valentine, and Justin Polizzi. Balls.
Hello, Academy Award snub Lego movie. This is the Simplistic Reviews podcast. I'm DJ Valentine, and I'm joined by two guys who have a higher respect for Oscar Mayer than they do for Oscar voters. Matthew Stewart, and filling in for the still vacationing Justin Polizzi, Dan Clark from Talking in Circles podcast. K Pasta fellas, how you guys doing?
Good. How's it going?
Oh man,
I wish I was an Oscar Mayer wiener.
You always wish you're an Oscar Mayer.
Just imagine right around that Wienermobile all day.
Man, that must be the
having
worst.
Kids run after your wiener. That kind of weird. It's kind of weird, right?
What did you do today, honey? Well, I was driving around a wiener and a bunch of kids.
my wiener around.
What is that truck for? Do they throw hot dogs out of it? Do they sell hot dogs out of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile? What do they do with that thing? I don't know.
I think it's a fight crime. I think it's
the worst.
Captain Wiener here.
It's like the ambiguously gay duo-mobiles.
Sometimes they partner up with the the Goodyear blimp, and
oh Jesus, it's a big boob in the sky.
Wieners on the floor, boobs in the sky.
Boobs in the sky.
What world do I live in?
The greatest world of them all.
I mean, I'd pay money to see a blimp chase. You know, what do they go like top 25 miles per hour? Yeah.
They're still going. It'd be like watching tennis, just really.
O.J. Simpson riding one of the blimps. Bunch of cop blimps behind him.
He's still over the city. We got nothing. We're having Dan on in our show's continuing effort to bring classy, knowledgeable podcasters and have them eventually sink down to our despicable level.
I would say you got me, so they must have been all busy today.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, we're like the Joker, and you're like Harvey Dent. You know, we're just we're corrupting you.
Well, I mean, last person that was Harvey Dent was Aaron Eckhart, and like, what's the last movie he did? I Frankenstein. So I don't know if that's a good thing.
The Joker win. He told Batman, he's like, look, it ain't just gonna be this. His career from here on out is gonna be fucked.
Well, it was like a life imitating art at that point. It was like he was a high-minded individual who was like DA of Gotham, and now he's.
He told that was a deleted scene. He told Batman, like, Batman, madness, as you know, is like gravity. All it needs is I Frankenstein. Batman's like, no.
Christian Nolan's like, I didn't write that. Why is he saying that there?
Point the gun at me, Harvey. Don't do the movie for the love of God. Daily. Don't do it. God damn it! It pisses me off because I love Aaron Eckhart. It's just, man.
I do too. Yeah, I mean, he's great. I love him in Thank You for Smoking. He's like awesome in that movie. And then like
Company of Men, he's great. It's like, what the fuck happened? I mean, the Dark Knight should have been like, he shouldn't have peaked in. It's like his peaked in high school moment. It's like, okay, this is the highest you're ever gonna go. And now we're going to give you direct-to-DVD movies for the rest of time.
Yeah. Who would have thought Maggie Gyllenhaal would have the better career after Dark Knight than him? But.
Yeah, go figure.
Well, she was kind of all right before Dark Knight. She had the secretary going on there. She had Donnie Darko kicking around.
True.
Golden Globe winner now.
Golden Globe winner. That pisses me off. She is the Golden Globe.
And her brother's not. What the fuck is that about?
I see like a couple minutes of that show, and I'm like, she's really good. I'm like, if you had to put a gun to your head, who's going to win an award first?
Yeah.
Back here, Jake. I'd have said, okay, Gotta be Jake, and I would have been dead. I'd have been dead in front of you.
I gotta bury another body. Fuck. God damn it. He keeps making these bets and he knows he's gonna lose. He's dead.
He keeps burying his best friend. Stop betting on stupid things.
I'm tired.
Tell everybody who's listening, which should probably be around 25 people, about the Talking in Circles podcast, Dan.
So you have double the audience that we do, so nice.
Nice.
We put all our audiences, with our audiences combined, we form Captain Planet.
We can maybe have a pickup basketball game if we get all our audiences. Yeah, Talking in Circles is on geekcastradio.com. We're kind of similar to your podcast. We talk a little bit of everything, like movies, TV, comics, a little bit of roundabout different things, and also do movie reviews every occasion, and different articles on Geekcast Radio. That all my stuff's there. So. Yeah, there's a bunch of other podcasts on that network as well, and you yourselves are nominated for. We're doing an awards show, and you're along with In Session Film and a few other podcasts are nominated for best review podcast. So
yeah,
congrats on that.
We're still drinking our champagne.
Paola's a wonderful thing.
We're Maggie Gyllenhaal in this situation.
Yeah.
We've already won.
We're just happy to be here.
Yeah, your campaign. I mean, you're the Harvey Weinsteins of this campaign.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Harvey Weinstein. You're gonna win an award this year, kid.
I got the Jew on the other line here. He's like, "Look, we gotta get a video out. We gotta get a video out.
If you don't put that video out, I will fucking end you."
See what I gotta deal with. But no, it was a pleasant surprise to be even in that company, because like I was telling JD from In Session, I was like, it's funny because I listen to every other one of those shows. So it's
like a little fanboy type thing going on. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm like what's his Incrediboy. I'm in. I work alone, motherfucker. I know you're new on the show, Dan, but usually what we do is we take this humongous, expensive $17 million stolen Price is Right wheel, and we put all the Hollywood subjects on it, and we spin it, and whatever it lands on, we got to talk about. Are you ready?
Sounds good.
Ready to do that?
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, it's rather impressive. The wheel from Price is Right has nothing on you guys. So.
No, we just need a few chicks on the side, which we haven't found.
You know how many I had to kill just to get this wheel out of there? I had to go through them. I had to fight them. It was like the crazy 88s. They were just coming at me. All right, let's play a little Simplistic showcase.
Time for a segment where news stories can switch on a dime faster than Bruce Jenner's gender. Oh yeah, Bruce Jenner is a woman now. If you thought I wouldn't find a way to bring that up, you don't know me at all. It's Simplistic Showcase.
Simplistic Showcase, as I've mentioned before, we put a bunch of the top news stories that are going on in Hollywood right now, and then we spin it, and if we land on it, we can pass and spin again, but if it lands on something the second time, we must talk about it. Dan, are you ready to spin this fucking wheel?
Ooh, a lot of pressure, but yeah, I think I'm ready.
You go ahead. You take your time. So it's pressure, but I mean, you just got to be focused.
The best kind of pressure.
You gotta
all right, I can stretch out a little bit here. I think I'm ready. So here it goes.
All right,
do it.
Spinning it, and it
Dan's
lands.
got good technique so far.
Oh, the first one out the box. Pratt as Indiana Jones. Do you want to talk about this, or do you want to pass and spin again?
Yeah, I think it's worth talking about for sure. Actually, it's kind of funny because on our podcast we do this game called Sequel, Reboot, or Destroy, where we bring up a franchise. We're like, should we sequelize it, reboot it, or just not do anything? And a few weeks ago we talked about Indy before this came out, and somehow we were talking about people that should reboot it, and somehow Zac Efron's name got mentioned, and I ended up kind of defending him in that, which is really...
Whoa. It was a pleasure having you on.
Here's your money.
Yeah, I know.
Efron, wow, that's bold.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I think he'll, like, I could see him being, like, the next, like, Ryan Gosling. I think he's a legit actor. I think he has ability. But anyways.
He turned me around on Neighbors. I give you that. He turned me around on Neighbors.
I think he'll can get rid of that whole Disney stuff. He just needs to pick better projects. But regarding Chris Pratt, but I ended up saying, like, I don't want to see another Indiana Jones movie. We have 3 of them already that are really great. We don't need another one. I mean,
3 of them.
3.
Audience. 3
exactly.
of them.
Say again, 3.
Yeah. And I don't want Indiana Jones to kind of become like James Bond, where you just have a different person in the role. I don't know. That franchise is already like a a take on classic serials of that time. Why not just do something new, like in that vein of Indiana Jones, but a different character? So, I don't know. That's my opinion.
If they're gonna go through with this, I think they picked the wrong Guardian of the Galaxy to play this role. Me, Indiana Jones and Han Solo to me are like two of the most iconic characters, but they're different. You're probably wondering like why they're different. Han Solo is smooth and charming and cool and stuff, but he's only tactically smart, which I think Pratt can do. I mean, essentially, he just did it as Star-Lord. Indiana Jones is smart.
Yeah, he's archaeologist smart. He digs up bones.
I don't think Pratt can sell me that he's deciphering a 19th century Sumerian tomb as much as like he's telling troops where to go. I think Indiana Jones. That's what makes Indiana Jones cool, is that he's this teacher by day and this adventurer by, I guess, night. I don't know. I guess it's day again, but
different day on the weekend.
Different day. But he's different. And I think Cooper, if you're gonna do this again, if I had to pick one of those guys who's got ties to Disney now, because Disney is owned, or Indiana Jones is owned by Disney. I say get Cooper. You got him already in the I guess Chris Pratt is like the hot guy of the year.
Oh yeah, of course.
But not critically. Bradley Cooper's been 3 Academy Award nominations in a row. So if I'm going to pick somebody, I would go Bradley. That's just me. I'm with you. I'd rather them just let the thing right off in the sunset. But damn, that mouse is not going to let.
No.
I know.
The mouse needs money.
Pay me my money.
I guess I'm a little worried too that Chris Pratt is just going to get overplayed and he's going to be used too much. So
oversaturation of the Pratt.
I mean, he's got Star-Lord and this Jurassic Park thing, so I don't. And this Jurassic Park thing is going to be really close to this. The Indiana Jones thing.
He almost looks like he would be. That's how Indiana Jones would be dressed in a prequel.
Modern day Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Wear fedora hats in the 2015.
My biggest problem is that, it's all well and good, and you got to reboot a popular franchise because that's what we do now, without question at this point. But I know that for a while they've been talking about an Uncharted movie. I see him more suited for a Nathan Drake in Uncharted. I don't know why it's like Indiana Jones, but not. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine that
Indiana Jones without the fedora?
Did you imagine that David O. Russell, Mark Wahlberg Uncharted movie they had planned for 2 years ago?
Yeah, wasn't Robert De Niro attached as well?
I think at some point, yeah.
I think that would have been good, but then Mark Wahlberg and David O. Russell had like falling out or whatever. And that to me is like how you kind of get your Indiana Jones fix without having to, destroy Indiana Jones. But again, like I tell you, there is no way that mouse is going to let Indiana Jones. There's no. That was probably half. That's the big secret of them Disney purchasing Star Wars or Lucas Films, or whatever. Is that everybody's Star Wars. Nobody's talking about the fact that they own Indiana Jones. Nobody remembers that. They also own Indiana Jones, which is probably one of the most iconic heroes of all time. So if he's cast, I won't be angry, but I just think he'd be better suited for a different role. I don't know.
Yeah, you almost wonder, get someone that's more of a smaller name, because Indiana Jones itself is the selling point. So maybe build up a smaller actor, kind of like the Marvel method. Most of their people that got their roles, like Chris Pratt was. I mean, before Star-Lord, he was respected for TV, but no one saw him as a movie star. So I'm surprised they would go for someone who's already established, and not try to continue they're on the cheap method, get the TV actor and just make him into a star.
Give me somebody cheap.
We'll pay him later. We'll backload his contract.
I'm mad that Mickey Mouse has slowly turned into Harvey Weinstein.
Yes,
he's now smoking cigarettes.
Eisner doesn't work for me anymore, though.
What happened to the voice, Mickey? Shut up, get out of my office.
I've been smoking all these cigars.
Let's be honest, though. Mickey Mouse, he's not a big fan of the Jewish persuasion, though.
No. That's rumored, Dan. We are not allowed to legally say that.
I'm sure Walt Disney loved Jews.
Oh, yeah, he loved you, Matt. He loved you.
He loved you so much.
All right, Matt, you go ahead and take your turn spinning that wheel.
All right. Since Dan spun that wheel quite well, so I got
a
tough act to follow. He must have been getting
he's spun a lot of things.
Somebody.
He's spun a lot of things in life.
All right, warm the hands up. Here we go. Grab it.
Yep. Okay, all right.
Yeah, how do you like that spin, huh?
Showing them up a little bit. It lands on.
Can't let our guest upstage us. We run this shit.
It lands on Indominus Rex from Jurassic Park. Do you want to talk about the name reveal and the sort of dinosaur reveal, or do you want to spin again?
It's spin again. I don't know. This is silly. It's like,
spin again.
Hey, what do you think about this name of this dinosaur we haven't really seen yet? It's like, it's okay, I guess.
Let's talk about his teeth. Come on. Let's talk
the mouth.
When I hear that name, I think of that Whoopi Goldberg movie from the 80s. What was that called? Was she partnered with a dinosaur?
God. What was that?
Theodore Rex.
What was it called?
Theodore Rex. God, it had a big yellow cover. It was a kid. It looked like one of the dinosaurs from the movie Dinosaurs in a film.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it was.
Why didn't I put that on the list? We should be doing commentaries on that film.
Yes. Theodore Rex.
All right, Matt, spin it again.
Okay.
Go ahead, get ready.
Here we go. You ready? You ready for the spin this wheel again?
Yeah, motherfucker, go. All right, spinning. Oh,
That
you
was
gotta
a
be
little lighter.
careful. I have to bring this back. I don't want the Burbank. I don't want to have anything,
Well, I told you not to steal it.
All right. Tyrese Gibson Green Lantern campaign.
Well, he's black.
You fit the only requirement necessary.
You could be Jon Stewart. There you go. That's pretty much.
That's how they cast the movie. We need a black actor.
You're black. You
Come here.
You get a superhero movie. You get a superhero movie. It's like Oprah.
Oprah's running one of the others.
To be honest with you, I mean, I saw like the what were they on Twitter and stuff like that, the Twitter fan pics or the pics that he made or something like that.
No.
It looks fine.
First off, he didn't make it.
Okay, whoever made it, his people, his handlers,
his handlers made it.
whoever made it.
I'm pretty sure Tyrese Gibson's not a proficient in Photoshop. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably not. He's good at driving cars though.
Maybe. Well, I don't even know if he's good at that.
Okay, fair enough. I don't mind. I mean, I don't know, man. Anything they do with the Green Lantern at this point would probably be anything better than they did with the Green Lantern before. So, I mean, why not? I mean, DC, roll the dice, be ballsy. It's like, even though this isn't like really necessarily a ballsy move, but
I do agree with that. Like, if you're gonna pick a Green Lantern, go Jon Stewart. If you really want to erase the abomination that is Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern, that's the way to do it.
Definitely. Like I mean, Tyrese as Green Lantern, I guess. I don't know. I'm surprised there's such a huge campaign for it. Like, that seems kind of odd
Is it
to me.
a huge campaign though? Is it a huge? I think it's just.
Yeah, maybe it's a self-promoted campaign. A lot of fake Twitter accounts being created and saying Tyrese needs a job.
Please.
Baby boy, you need to get a job, baby boy.
They're not making Fast and the Furious movies fast enough. I need another.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I see him like. I don't know. I don't know. See him like a leading man type of actor. I don't know if you can surround a movie by him. I don't know. Maybe.
This sadly reminds me of when the Old Spice guy was trying to get Luke Cage. I don't know if you see that little.
No.
He made a little video, like a little short fan film of him as Luke Cage, and it's like, come on, man. I know you're not a huge actor, but you're better than this.
Yeah, I mean,
because isn't like Jon Stewart a Marine? Like, I don't know if I see Tyrese doing that all that well.
He was a Marine in Transformers, wasn't he? Come on.
Oh, he was like,
then definitely, yeah.
I don't know what the hell military was a part of in that movie. Nest.
For the American Society of Soldiers.
The Armed Forces.
The World Society of Soldiers who have stupid catchphrases and puns.
They're about as official as G.I. Joe is official.
Probably.
Like, we're not really the military, but we kind of are the military. I don't know.
We fire guns. Does that count?
They got lasers in them, so it's not really, But yeah, I kind of. This is kind of. I don't even know how I feel about Tyrese.
There's a lot of ambivalence towards this.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I hate Tyrese, but it's just like, dude, if I was gonna really consider begging Jon Stewart, you're so low on the list of people. Yeah. And another thing, this also reminds me of, wasn't it Sean Young that dressed up like Catwoman for Batman '89 or not? Or was it Batman Returns? Or Batman?
She was gonna be Vicky Vale in '89. She dressed up as Catwoman for 1992 for Batman Returns.
That worked out so well for her.
Yeah, her career really took off after that.
She's in Hateful Eight, so maybe she'll make a little comeback.
Einhorn is Catwoman.
That's the only reason Quentin had her in there. All right, it's my turn to get on this wheel now. Get
Right. Show us how you spin that wheel.
I'm the master of spinning stuff. I'm the spin doctor. Oh, the spin doctor.
And we're the two princes.
I don't even know what that means. I'm spinning now. It lands on David Tennant as Purple Man in the Jessica Jones Netflix show. David Tennant. What do I talk about David Tennant?
I don't even know what the really Purple Man is.
Purple Man is essentially like he can walk up on you and make you do things that you don't want to do. He's like an agent.
Okay. You're gonna be in this picture.
He has purple skin. He can make you do what you want to do, including like rape you through the mind, essentially. Like say, hey, you have sex with me now. So this is
man, that's pretty.
It is Netflix, so they could touch on that stuff. I think I'm going to spin again. It's not really much to say. David Tennant's awesome. I think the Netflix Marvel shows are going to be 20 times better than the ABC Marvel shows. So good for them. Good casting. All the casting for those shows to me so far have been pretty damn good. So I'm going to spin one more time. It's spinning, and it lands on Fantastic Four trailer. Oh, great. It was better than the Ant-Man trailer.
Yeah, I agree.
Thoughts? That's about all I got.
I mean, I know a lot of people like comparing it to like it's very Interstellar-like, you know, in a lot of ways. Like,
yes.
You know, if I showed you that trailer and
it reminded me of Star Trek 2009, a lot of it.
Yeah, very much. Like if I saw that trailer and didn't know it was about Fantastic Four, I would never have guessed it was a Fantastic Four trailer.
Dan, it's not about Fantastic Four anymore. They essentially
These
said
are
that.
people with powers, and one of them turns into a rock man. And there's an evil blogger.
Yeah,
that's it.
So I'm one of the few people that think there's a possibility, you know, maybe not a great possibility that this movie could actually work, just because I think I like the cast, the actors involved in it. I don't know, like, you know, do they fit those roles particularly? Not really, but as someone who's never really been a fan of the Fantastic Four, I don't really care if you change all that much because I'm not that invested into it. I mean, I don't know if we need more Christopher Nolan light comic book movies, which this certainly feels like, but
more Man of Steel.
Yeah, so I'm curious, and I guess the biggest thing is that I really don't need another origin story. Like, I hope they don't make that the entire movie, like the entire origin story, because we've had so many of those, and it's kind of tiresome. So.
Here's my
look. If you don't know what the Fantastic Four is by now,
yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
And a lot of people say, oh, they can change it because nobody really gives a crap about Fantastic Four. That's fine, but it just seems, and I've said this a million times, it just seems like you're trying to cash in on the nostalgia factor while telling the people who are nostalgic about it to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what Fox does.
Either tell us to go fuck ourselves completely, or, you know, make an original fucking movie. You can essentially, like Matt was saying, you can just call this something else, and I'd buy it. It doesn't need to be anything.
I don't know.
It has zero ties to the Fantastic Four.
Like it's four people that have superpowers that fight another person. It's like, all right, cool, give it a good name, but there's always going to be this nostalgia effect. As long as you put Fantastic Four on it, there's a certain group of people, mainly comic book readers or anybody who's into that type of stuff, that expect Fantastic Four to follow the formula of the Fantastic Four, which I don't blame them for thinking that. It's like, that's what you should. Call it something else if you don't want people to fucking rip your movie about it not being true to the comics or whatever else.
And it usually, and my biggest concern, it's not the cast, because the cast is great. Everybody cast in this movie is great. I love, what's his name? Josh Trank. Yeah. It's the fact that they're fucking up the character. The only character I really love out of this that they're fucking with, that I don't want to fuck with, is Dr. fucking Doom.
Yeah.
Everybody else you can change. I don't give a shit about Michael B. Jordan. He's a fucking awesome actor. You can cast anybody else. And fuck anybody in their family who has a problem with him being black. We've established, if this is 2015, we still got fucking problems with that, Star Wars. What the hell is going on here? But anyway, that's not the problem. My problem is losing the essence of the character, which the first movie did, where they're giving Dr. Doom superpowers, and I think this one's doing the same thing. I heard you guys talking about on your podcast, Dan, about Dr. Doom is essentially just a guy. He's just evil Iron Man. He doesn't need to have superpowers to be awesome. Iron Man doesn't have fucking superpowers, and he's awesome.
Yeah, that's what's great about him. It's like it's just his mind, his ability to kind of solve problems, and he's able to really trick people to do anything. He's like Purple Man without the powers.
People are like, well, I heard people criticizing it on people who are criticizing the movie, criticizing people who are criticizing it, saying, well, it's not realistic to have a guy with his own country running it like a dictatorship. Korea, Putin,
I've been to Cuba like a few weeks ago. Cuba was still like that.
Russia, kind of.
Russia, Vladimir Putin is essentially Dr. fucking Doom without a suit of armor.
I think
Vladimir
the best
Putin doesn't
fantastic.
need a suit of armor. Okay.
Yeah. He rides horses bare chested.
Hell yeah.
The best Fantastic Four movie we're ever gonna get is The Incredibles. Let's be honest.
Yep.
I don't think it's really
1,000% true. 1,000% true. I remember watching that in the theater, and I was like, "This is it. This is the best I could ever get." And I can't wait for the sequel. Oh wait, I have to wait 10 fucking years.
Yeah.
God damn it.
And Brad Bird's not coming back. So.
Oh, stop telling me information. Don't tell me anymore.
Spoiling me.
God damn it, Brad Bird. Why do you keep destroying me? I was like, he'll do the next Mission Impossible. Nope, fuck you. You'll do the next Incredibles. Nope, fuck you. All right, Dan, give one more spin on this big bad wheel.
All right, well, I got to make up for last time because I was showing up, by you two. So hopefully with more experience, I can do a little bit better. So
This is constant one-upsmanship. That's all this.
yeah.
That's all this podcast is. It's just like a dick waving contest.
It's a big waving contest. Come on.
Isn't that what all podcasts is for?
Pretty
That's
much.
what we started.
Yeah.
All right, let's try this again.
Mm-hmm. See, that's
He's
a
mastered
good
the
mother.
technique.
Simon Pegg writing Star Trek. Do you want to talk about that, or do you want to spin again?
Let's spin again.
Nobody
I don't
cares.
Like, okay, Scotty.
Sounds good. Can't get worse. So there you go.
All right, here we go. And it lands on yes, Girl Ghostbusters.
This is
Similar to
either-
Indiana Jones, I don't need to see another Ghostbusters.
Yes.
I'm
It's
good.
because you don't like women.
You don't like it. We've got JD on the Sylvanistic kick. Dan, it's your turn.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. You could have cast like Channing Tatum, Chris Pratt, and like everyone. I'd be like, I don't need this, but I don't mind that they're doing an all-woman cast. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa McCarthy, I just hope that she doesn't do the same role she does all the time.
Yeah,
will.
she's gonna fall down and be fat.
Be fat and fall.
Yeah, she's gonna try to jump over a counter, and it's gonna be like a really long scene of her not being able to get over it.
Comfortable in her sexuality. She's gonna fall down. She's gonna say a reverent thing.
I mean, I think she can be like. I thought she was pretty good in St. Vincent last year. I think she can be like legitimately funny if she's given the right material. I did like her in Bridesmaids, and I think the issue
That's
was
the character I think she's gonna play. She's gonna play the same,
yeah.
really comfortable and doesn't give a shit about anybody says personality. It'd be great if she was playing the wallflower. That'd be great. That's for her to do something else.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest, I like the fact Kristen Wiig's in it. The other two, I'm not all that familiar with. I know they're SNL alum, or they're currently on SNL, so I can't say much about it, but
Kate McKinnon is good.
He's very funny. Both of them are. I mean, one
Yeah,
of them.
what's her name? Shirley Jones.
Yeah, she's like a
Leslie Jones?
Leslie Jones.
Jones. Yeah, she's been in Workaholics, and she was funny in Workaholics. And
Top five. Is it top five?
top five. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a really good stand-up comic. So, and I know when Chris Rock came to SNL, I watch SNL occasionally. They did like a segment that Chris Rock wrote for her, and it was really, really bad. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it. But if they just let her just do what they let Bill Murray do in the first one, which is anything you want, you'll be fine. Because I don't think Bill Murray really was following a script in Ghostbusters. I think he was just, I'm going to be Bill Murray.
Because I think he was kind of making fun of it as he went along. So yeah, I guess I get why they did that, because at least like you don't have to worry about if you get 4 new guys that they have to kind of fill the roles of the other guys. But at least now you can let them do their own thing. But I'm about as interested as I would have been before I heard about it. I just wish it wouldn't happen. Like, I know Dan Aykroyd's been trying to like will this project and get that Ghostbusters 3 forever now, but
Is there any remake or sequel that you think are you super excited for? I guess not counting Star Wars or whatever.
sequel. Jeez, that's a good question. I mean,
Like, how do you feel about the Mad Max thing?
Oh, I'm psyched for that. That looks great. I mean, I mean, I'm not saying I won't watch it. I don't know. Like, I just think there's a lot of great new properties out there we can kind of go into. Like, I did hear that they're maybe doing an X-Files continuation series.
That's where you need to draw the line. Where, like, dude, this was dead.
Yeah.
See the last X-Files movie?
I did, and that was awful.
You're the one. You're the one that...
I saw it in theater too, so I was.
Man,
it was like
real dedication.
Yeah, it was like decapitations. That wasn't having nothing to do with aliens, nothing to do with ghosts. It was just bringing people back to life through getting their head. It was Walt Disney. It was essentially cutting off people's heads and attaching it to other bodies. That was it. It's like, this isn't X. This is like a really long, bad episode of the X-Files. I didn't feel. Certain movies, I think, either they've overstayed their welcome, or it's never going to get better.
Yeah.
Like Back to the Future, and I'll speak for Justin Polizzi here, you should never, ever make another Back to the Future. Don't leave that shit alone. There's certain movies, we should maybe make a list of the movies that are untouchable. Leave them alone. Don't remake, don't do anything else with Die Hard. Just don't remake, sequelize. You've already stabbed in the back of the head. Just.
I'm excited for Mission Impossible 5 if that counts. So. And Jurassic World. I think they can both be good.
Jurassic World.
I think there's a fine line between sequels and reboots. When you start rebooting things that don't really need to be rebooted, like Ghostbusters, it seems like I don't know what they're really calling it, a reboot or a sequel.
I think it's a reboot because it's like I don't even fucking know at this point.
like we talked about Indiana Jones, or Fantastic Four, make another movie that's about women who bust ghosts, but don't call it Ghostbusters. I think it's still the nostalgia factor. You want to take
criticism of you're just a Ghostbusters ripoff.
I'd rather you have it be a Ghostbuster ripoff than it being a shoddy product of the Ghostbuster franchise.
That's true. I guess pick your poison. Whatever pisses you off more. Do you want to be known as the Ghostbuster ripoff, or do you want to be known as the person that destroyed a legacy?
Just don't make the fucking movie. How about that?
I was much more excited when I heard the people behind 22 Jump Street and Lego Movie were going to make it, and I was like on board. Yes. But once they left, and Paul Feig, I mean, I did like Bridesmaids, but the heat was kind of bland as bland could be. So
I'll tell you what I heard that. I haven't heard anything since, but I was super excited, like almost like you're talking about was it Phil Lord and
Chris Miller?
Yeah, we're doing you thought they were going to do Ghostbusters. I heard, and I guess this is gone, that Key and Peele were going to do Police Academy reboot. And
nice.
Shit, I would be involved in that, but I haven't heard anything since, so I might have just been like somebody that's making up a lie. But you got to get talented people behind. If you're going to make a reboot of something that's so like iconic, you better have really good fucking people behind it. I mean, at least Mad Max, that's the same fucking guy. So it ain't no Piker, it's George fucking Miller.
Key Peele should do a reboot of the Family Matters show.
Oh God, they can't do it anymore. I would watch 7 hours of that. I would be in a fucking theater.
Comes back as like the new American Horror Story. But
Urkel going around killing people.
Did I do that?
Take the money, Carl. All right, Matt, give it one more spin on this wheel.
All right, spinning. All right, tailspin time.
Tailspin, do it like Baloo.
Like Baloo in it. All right, man, 50-50 shot on this.
50-50 shot, go. Ooh. You have to make the sound effect when you the vroom. Is that your sound effect?
Yeah, that was my sound effect. That was my spin sound effect.
That was a great sound of vroom. You're like the actors with the guns that go pew pew pew.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just a 12-year-old kid doing a podcast.
Pew 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 pew. X-Men TV show.
Talk about shit from our childhood. I'll glaze over this really quick. You guys can chime in if you want. Well, first, are they doing this a cartoon, or are they doing this a live action?
I believe it's live action. I think it's.
I don't think you need to do it. You're already making X-Men movies, so why go the TV route too with more X-Men?
Money.
I don't know.
Money. Why are you asking questions to which you already know the answers?
I assume this will be on Fox.
Yeah. Yes.
Unless there's I don't know what subsidiaries Fox has TV show wise, and so maybe FX. Hey, FX, put it on FX.
That'd be good. I'd watch it.
Like a gritty, dark kind of
FXX, maybe.
Yeah, X-Force. Yeah. Maybe include some X-Force characters on there and stuff like that, or Excalibur characters. That'd be cool. But I don't know. I mean, whatever. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm just kind of ambivalent towards it. I'm a little superhero kind of oversaturation at this point.
Are you done with superheroes, Matthew Stewart? Are you finished? Have you reached your limit?
I've reached my saturation point.
Well, I hate to break it to you. In 2016, you're gonna get fucking like 6 of them at once.
Like, oh my God. It's like
every
so
studio's bringing out like 2 a year.
I think it's just a matter of like hearing. I think it's just hearing news about it all the time. You know what I mean? Funny enough, we're doing a fucking news segment, so this is all credibility right here. It's like we keep talking about this, but it's like every day it's like a new fucking story about something comic book related. It's like, oh my God, man! It's like this is what it's become. This is like the news. This is entertainment news now. I can't even fucking believe it.
It's an Inside Edition.
And dude, 16-year-old me, 15-year-old me, be like, yeah, comic books talk every day. And I'm just 31-year-old man, like, what the fuck?
31-year-old who wants to punch 15-year-old you in the face.
Yeah, it's like, shut up, me. It's like, stop hitting me. You're hitting yourself. Giant fight. I feel like liar, Jim Carrey. Kicking my ass, you mind?
My only problem with it is that X-Men needed a budget for that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not like the I think the Marvel Netflix things are going to be so good is because you don't really need a budget for that. Shield's kind of fucked because you need a budget for that, but you don't need a budget for like Hell's Kitchen and Luke Cage punching criminals, you know. But you're going to need a budget for fucking mutant powers. I mean, how do that off?
And that universe, the X-Men universe, is so screwed up with its like continuity and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Throwing in a TV show, if it exists in the same universe, I could only imagine like how that's gonna somehow work. But I don't know. Like I'm saying with Matt, I don't really need it, and I don't see it working all that well. And who are they gonna get? Because you can't get. It's not like you can have Wolverine or some of the bigger X-Men, so you're
gonna get Hugh Jackman on fucking
yeah.
It's the same conversation we had with Shield. Like you're never gonna get fucking Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Hemsworth on the fucking show because he's making Black Hat and the other one's fucking making the Judge and blah 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 blah.
The Judge. I mean, you got priorities there. Oscar nominated the Judge, by the way.
God. Yeah. Don't even. Okay.
I don't know how Robert Duvall pulled that one out, but he did.
Well, he's the only thing that's recognizably good in it, so
fair
that
enough.
movie's kind of like, it just okay, you got Robert Downey Jr. in a fucking movie with Robert Duvall and Vincent D'Onofrio, and I'm bored. That's a problem.
Yeah.
I should never be bored when Robert Downey Jr. is on the screen. That you should never, ever do that.
This has been Simplistic Showcase. An excuse to remind you how bizarre the actual Price is Right is.
Oh, God. All right, let's take a break and do a TV roundup.
Check out the Blueprint Review podcast at blueprintreview.co.uk. This could be interesting because I know we've got some very diverse people. I'm going to be arguing with Darren a lot.
I think it's going to be me v you lot with Debbie Law sat in the middle.
To be honest, I think it's about expectation.
Yeah.
Like, I think...
Yeah, I expected it to be
TV roundup. Dan, have you been watching anything on the boob tube this month?
Do old TV shows count?
Anything counts. As long as it's on the boob tube.
Barney Miller. Let's hear it.
Well, I went with The Wire being kind of re-released with high definition. I went back and rewatched the entire series of The Wire again.
Best TV show ever.
Yeah, it was just like I think the second time I've watched it all the way through, but the third time I've kind of went back and rewatched it. But it was even better, like watching it again, because there's so much in that show that you miss on first go around, like how well so many storylines are built up bit by bit throughout the entire series. So it's just so full of great characters too. It's just I love that show. So.
Okay, who's your favorite character on The Wire? That should be a freaking Rorschach test.
Yeah, I was actually having that conversation with. Yeah, I was having that conversation with my wife too because she's in it. She watches it as well. It's tough. I think my favorite character is probably Stringer Bell. So I think it came down to that. So
guy. You're not an Omar guy. Most people say Omar's
automatically Omar.
Omar's my favorite character.
Omar's great, but I like Stringer Bell because I just think he is a little bit more. I like his journey that you see him go through, like in that, like where he starts and where he ends up, and how he kind of all the little. He becomes almost like a sympathetic character in the end. So I tend to gravitate towards him.
He does the Omar character kind of has the only thing that bugs me is the spoiler alert. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to allude to something.
Okay. First of all, the show's like 15 years old. If you haven't seen The Wire by now, fuck off. Okay?
Most people didn't fucking see it. That's the problem.
Watch it. You should do your fucking homework and watch The Wire right now. Stop listening to our podcast right now.
Hey, after you watch listening to our podcast, then put on The Wire.
All right, fine, do that.
You don't even need HBO. If you have Amazon Prime, it's on there too.
Yeah, but his Jesse James ending kind of pissed me off a little bit. I was like, oh, come on. It could have been. I thought I was going to have like it reminded me of No Country for Old Men kind of, where it's like, oh.
That's how you go out. But I think that's.
I know it's a point because the game is the game, and the whole thing. I understand the whole point of it, but it just left a really bad taste in my mouth. It's like,
It's like you think Omar might make it all the way through. It's like, everybody else has fucking gotten it. Everybody has gotten it.
He's the Tyrion Lannister of The Wire.
It really is.
Everybody wants him to be in charge, but there's no way he's going to end up in charge.
Yeah. And I've also been catching up with not the current season of Justified, but the last season of Justified because it finally came on Amazon Prime.
Magnificent Bastard. You know that's my favorite show. Continue and talk.
Yeah. I would say like what's the most? Was it season 5 the most recent? I can't even remember. But
with the Crows coming with Rappaport and the guy from X-Men First Class. The what's his name in X-Men First? I forget his name. The black guy. He's like the black country dude.
Yeah. Speaking of The Wire, what's his name shows up in that? Barksdale is in that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Him and his brother, his real life brother, are like the two goons.
Yeah.
The guy from Minority Report and The Practice. The big.
Yeah. I like you. I love Justified. Waylon Givens is like the best character ever. He's fantastic. I would say though, I don't know if this season is not as good as the other one so far. I don't know. Maybe The Crows I'm not enjoying as much as I thought, but it's still really good. It's just like season 2 and 3 I thought were like some of the best television ever, and this is solid, but a little bit of a step down. But
which season? Because I watch these episodes like it's one of the few shows I watch live. I cannot watch online. Most shows I kind of like binge and catch up with. But I have to watch Justified live. And the season with I can't remember her name. She was in August of Osage County. She was like she had the alcohol that she put in the jars and stuff. That was like my favorite season.
Yeah. That's good. I think that's 2 or 3. Then I can't think.
It might have been 3. I think it's and Raylan, he, spoiler alert, gets wounded near the end of that season, and it kind of affects him into the season afterwards. But yeah, the Crows series season, it only kind of picks up near the end.
Yeah, I'm about episode 7 in, so maybe that's why. So.
Yeah, I think it has. I think Ty Sheridan's in there too. New Cyclops, he shows up on that season. He's Alicia Witt. I think he's the nephew or whatever, or one of them.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's all I've been watching.
Matthew, what about you, big man? What have you been watching?
Well, okay, I'll start with one thing, and then I'll move into another thing because I know you'll be like, "I told you so." At the very end. I understand I gotta watch the show now because it probably won't be around much longer. It's that the new Rainn Wilson show, Backstrom.
I haven't watched it yet. Is it funny?
It's very entertaining because it's like I don't want to make the thing. It's like he's not playing Dwight. He's not playing Dwight Schrute, which is good. I'm glad he's not playing that same character. But he kind of still is a little bit. It's like maybe if Dwight Schrute gave up beet farming and moved out to the West Coast, up to Portland or something like that, and became a really good, like a really good kind of Sherlock Holmes type detective a little bit. But it's entertaining. It's based, I think, on like a Swedish show or Swedish book or something like that, or some writer from Norway or something. But it's just a cool show. He's like I don't know. Think of him as like a like a Columbo type character, bumbling kind of. Everybody takes him as like a bumbling idiot, but he's actually very, very smart.
Okay.
But the show itself is funny. I mean, I like Rainn Wilson. I like the sub characters that are around him and stuff like that. And
How's the president, Dennis Haysbert?
Oh, he's good. He's not in it so much, Dennis Haysbert. Yeah, he's like his lieutenant kind of. He's kind of his maybe direct officer above him. But I like Rainn Wilson's attitude. It's kind of like I don't give a fuck attitude. I'm gonna do it my way. So it's got a little bit of that Raylan Gibbons kind of rebelliousness in it, with the bumblingness of Columbo, with maybe the kind of being scared of Jim Rockford. So it's got a good combination of three really good kind of cop archetypes, I guess you can say.
That was if you were talking about remakes before. For some reason, I really would love for some to do something with Rockford Files, because that was
Chris Pratt as Jim Rockford.
I'll take anybody. Because Rockford's such a fucking awesome character. Because that's another one. He's like the opposite of a hero at every turn, where you think he like runs away from danger. Yeah. He's such a great character, and I thought that would be. And when I saw the trailers for this, you're right. It kind of reminded me of a kind of like a, but other than he's a cop instead of a detective or whatever. But I don't know. Rainn Wilson. Sometimes I can dig him, and sometimes I can't dig him. So
I like this because he also reminds me a little bit of the character like in Super too. Nice. So I kind of like that as well.
Emotionally scarred.
There's some shit that went down with them in the past. They haven't really gotten into it or anything like that. But you see, there's kind of like this. He has kind of a sordid history with something. So I don't know. I dig it. I think it's entertaining, and even Nicole liked it, which I was like, "Ooh, you like it too? Okay, whatever."
It's on Fox.
It's on Fox. Let's see if it gets past. Hey, if Gotham can make it this far,
oh Jesus! Don't get me started.
Backstrom maybe will make it. I don't know, man. And the other thing is
Fox all cop shows now? It's all cop shows. There's 3 cop shows.
Backstrom, Gotham, Mindy.
I guess Sleepy Hollow is essentially a cop show with Ichabod Crane.
Historical procedural.
Oh boy. Is that all you've been watching?
No, the other thing is Misfits. I just finished the first series last night, so that's been fun. Another show that I didn't think Nicole would like, but she likes that one too.
Oh,
so
she did like that.
Yeah, she did. I was like, oh man, there's like a lot of fucking in this show. And
very violent.
Very violent, and a lot of indistinguishable British accents that you can't understand all the time. And
Chev, what the hell does a Chev mean?
That girl Kelly, I'm trying to listen to her sometimes. Like, what the fuck are you saying?
It's funny, that girl. That's when that series kind of wrapped up. She got kicked off the show for like, I forget it was some kind of weird behind the scenes.
Well, she got into trouble, like similar to how her character got in trouble in the show, or something I read, or something.
Oh, for real? Okay, yeah.
It was like life imitating art, or art imitating life, or something. So
it was some weird shit. But she goes, I like her character a lot, and then she was like, later, bye.
But the show's fun. It took me a while to get around to it, but I mean, I'm liking it now. It reminds me a lot of like, it's like Heroes and like Skins kind of rolled into one. So
Heroes with balls. Heroes didn't really have a lot of balls. I mean, nothing really. There's an episode of Misfits where Nathan starts banging this chick, and she turns into an old lady.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
That's awesome. I need to watch this show now.
She has like this power where she can make herself younger, but like when she's in ecstasy, she loses control and she turns back to her regular. It's weird, man.
I feel like a 98-year-old man like every night. No, but the show, I mean, I would recommend it, Dan. I mean, you like superhero stuff, and this is like the anti-superhero type show where it's like, it is like a group of fucking misfits that like the scum of the earth, like not scum of the earth, but just shitty people, and it's the irony of the powers that they get, which I think is the most intriguing part of the show.
And what's the name of the guy who plays Nathan? I never. He was in Mortal Instruments, sadly.
Oh, but. Yeah. I don't know his name in real life or anything like that. But yeah, he's like he runs the show for the most part.
He's like the best character on the first 2 seasons, I believe.
He's pretty much our podcast.
Yeah, that's essentially what
he's the id of the show, basically.
What's it? There's the Oh man, there's a guy in the first episode, and I'm not 100% sure. I got IMDb this. I think he might be the star of the. I'm probably wrong.
The guy in the hat.
The guy in the hat. He looks like the guy
who stars. Game of Thrones.
He's not from Kingsman. He looks like the Kingsman guy.
He kind of does with the hat.
So I don't know. I might just be doing a reverse racism thing where all these British guys look alike.
People in the British people
all you British people look like me.
You sound alike. You look alike.
Yeah, Hugh Grant, Hugo Weaving. What's the fucking difference?
We'll start with H. Hugo.
Close enough. We haven't been watching anything else, Matt?
Those are the two big ones. Other than that, yeah, Backstream and Misfit, the two new things that I've been watching. So, it's funny we haven't spoken about what we usually talk about.
Yeah.
And now, DJ, what are you watching?
It's funny because I don't really want to talk about it as much. Arrow is back, of course. Yes, Flash is back. Arrow is back. We didn't get Lazarus Pit.
I'm happy about that.
Or we're not sure yet. They haven't really explained exactly how Oliver is alive.
Drinking herbs.
Whatever. He's been smoking that herb.
He's smoking that herb. That good as herb.
But yeah, it's back and it's fine. It's just as good as it was before, except for maybe some things with Laurel.
She's learning.
Whatever. Justified, as Dan brought up, is back, and it's so fucking awesome. Anytime Raylan Givens just talks down criminals that are dumber than him, it's like catnip. Like I can. Anytime he's talking to somebody, there's this character named Choo Choo on the show.
Nice.
On the new season, and he's like following Raylan around, and Raylan knows he's following around, so he like sneaks up on him, and then the guy has to kind of, because he's dumb, pretend that he wasn't following Raylan around. It's like, okay, you're not following me around. Where are you going? That's none of your business. So wait, where I'm going is none of my business. It's such a great show. It's probably one of the best written shows ever, and it saddens me that this is the last season, and it's essentially redneck Batman. It's redneck Gotham City because Raylan's Batman, it's the Joker. It's the same fucking thing. Suits is back, which I'm still the only one that watches that show on the show. But I want to talk about two new shows that I got to see that I was really impressed by, which I didn't think I was going to be. I kind of had a hint of one, not the other. There's a show called The Man in the High Castle on Amazon. I think it's Amazon Prime. And it's about what if Matt would love the show. What if Hitler?
You got me at Hitler.
What if fucking Hitler won, essentially? And what if like America had lost World War II, and it's like an alternate reality where Japan essentially owns the entire west coast of the country, and Germans own everything else, and the people in America are kind of trying to build up this. It's almost like Star Wars, where they're trying to build a rebellion to take back the country, and it's like really just the concept alone. I think it's based on it might be Philip K. Dick. I could be wrong. I have to do some research.
Yeah, told me it was Philip K. Dick. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really, the concept alone is interesting as hell, and it has the girl from Chronicles of Riddick. I forget her name. She was in Angel a couple times. Alex the Devilioff or something to that effect. She's in there. It's just the fact that they're showing shots of like Times Square, and there's the swastikas everywhere, and like she's in San Francisco. She's walking through San Francisco, and like everything in San Francisco is now Japanified. I guess it's this calligraphy everywhere, and you're paying stuff with yen, and Gestapo is everywhere. It's just really an interesting show that I just watched the first. I think it's a mini series because I think the first episode was like maybe an hour and a half. So it was really cool. And
so is it getting a full season? Because I know it was like a pilot, but are they actually giving up?
I hope so. I don't know. I watched it on accident. Like somebody was like, "Oh, watch this Man in a High Castle." I'm like, "There ain't no fucking castle in the show." But then,
where's the castle?
Where's the fucking castle? Where's Nathan?
Shows a lie.
But no, I watched it on accident. But then I kind of started, after I watched it, I started to like look up what the fuck it was, and that's when I figured out it was based on a book, but I don't know if it's getting a season. I hope it is, because it's really cool. And where it leads off, it's a super cliffhanger, so it's like, okay, it wasn't like meant as a movie, and it is meant to expand.
It is getting a lot of buzz, so Amazon would be stupid not to, because it seems like of all the pilots they put out there, that one's the one I'm hearing the most about. I haven't seen it myself, but
I think it was on a list. It was on a list of shows that people should stream or download or whatever that people haven't yet. And I think it was like number 1 or 2 on the list or something to that effect. And I think Marco Polo was on there, which I highly disagree with. But
I have not watched that. It's not any good.
Somebody told me to get to the 4th episode and you'll love it.
It's like you have to tell me to get to a certain episode and start enjoying a show.
I was like the 4th episode. I got through 2 episodes. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But
I was just confused when I watched it and there was no one in a pool.
Yeah, there's no one with a beach ball. This is like Asia. But the other show that I started watching, which I kind of thought was going to be cool when I first saw the trailer for it, and I think it's really, really good. It makes me really rethink sci-fi, which is 12 Monkeys. I thought this show was going to be okay, but the movie with Bruce, it's based on the movie with Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt and Terry Gilliam. I think Madeline Stowe, I think, is in there somewhere. It's essentially a reboot of that. I know we've been talking about reboots here. But the thing about where I think the show and the movie can operate in 2 different levels is that the movie itself is which I love, it's not really fleshed out. It's just one, narrative. They never really get into the time travel stuff or what the hell is going on in the future or why the hell is I forget his character's name. Bruce Willis's character's name, who's now played by Pyro from X-Men 2.
Nice.
But no, the TV show fleshes a lot of that stuff out. It fleshes out the character, and they did change. Spoiler alert if you're going to watch it. Brad Pitt's character is now a woman, but what I thought was cool is she's just as crazy, and she wears the exact same outfit Brad Pitt wears in the movie. The little jumpsuit thing or whatever, and she's just as nuts. Not as attractive if the ladies were watching, but
is that on Sci-Fi or is that like what it's?
Yeah, that's why I was really reticent. I was like, oh, Sci-Fi Network. But they've had a couple shows come out in the last couple of years that have been Helix was really good, and
Ascension was pretty good. Did you see Ascension?
I didn't see Ascension, but I heard good things about it. So
it's got the twist is in the first episode, so you only have to get in every episode is like an hour and a half.
So I have to wait to the 4th episode.
No,
I see
you just got to wait till the end of the first episode. So I think it was a miniseries though. It was only I think 3 or 4 episodes. It was like a 3-night miniseries. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of got a BioShock type feel to it, which is kind of cool.
His name is Aaron Stanford. James Cole is the character. He's the guy. Nobody knows who the hell that is. If I said Pyro from X-Men 2, you know exactly who the fuck.
It does seem like Sci-Fi is trying to get back to doing things that aren't like Sharknado 3 because
they'll still do Sharknado 3, but every once in a while they'll win that shit.
Because they're coming out with a new series this year too that I'm actually kind of interested in because I like the book series based upon the Expanse series. It's going to star Thomas Jane, which is like set in the
all right. Then you got me. Thomas Jane's awesome.
Yeah. So it's set in like the way future where we've kind of like colonized Mars and we're starting living on asteroids, and it's just really interesting universe. I've read like the first 2 books, and so I'm excited to see if that actually can work on Sci-Fi.
It's called Expand?
Expanse.
Oh,
the Expanse series.
Okay.
Well,
at least Sci-Fi is doing sci-fi again now.
No,
I know that sharks is science technically.
Or octopuses. No. Octopi. I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on. You can't. Octopuses is not a word. Octopussy is though.
I need to see a chupacabra mixed with a crocodile at all times.
Don't give ideas.
That's science.
It is science, technically.
It's not technically, it's science. But yes, 12 Monkeys is of the 2. I'm more interested in Man in the High Castle because it's just the concept. What if Nazis won? And I think they've done a couple movies like that.
They did Dark Sky. Was it Dark Sky?
Howard was in one of these things. I can't remember.
It was the one where the Nazis lost and they moved to the dark side of the moon, and then they re-attack Earth.
Yeah.
Iron Sky. Sorry,
Iron Sky.
Yeah, and they have a sequel for that coming out, or it's coming, or something like that.
Why do they have a sequel for that?
Because if Iron Sky 1 wasn't enough for you,
it actually I think did really well overseas because
yes.
Yeah,
because everybody else overseas is still afraid of the Nazis.
Yeah, it's like, please, you better watch this, or they're gonna win.
Was that found footage too? Was that a found footage?
No, it was a straight film.
Oh my god! All I remember it was like it looked like Sky Captain when I saw a trailer.
Yeah, it is very Sky Captain-ish. It's got the same style to it.
Where's Captain America when you really need him? I think it's time for us. We've talked some news, we've talked some TV. I think it's time for us to admit some things to each other in a segment we're calling Simply Ashamed.
Everyone has personal secrets no one else knows about. However, these numbskulls don't have the sense to keep that sort of shit to themselves. It's Simply Ashamed.
Simply Ashamed. This is when we admit things that to each other and to the audience that we've never admitted before, that you may not know. Seeing that I have invented this segment, I'll go first. I'll
Shame yourself.
shame myself first. All right. My name is DJ Valentine, and I love Spaceballs. But
I thought that was it.
It's like, I'm like, that's a weak.
I love Spaceballs.
I love Spaceballs. I've seen it maybe 20 times, maybe more than that. We ain't found shit. I love it. But I'm sad to say that it is the only Mel Brooks film I've seen all the way through from beginning to end.
Wow.
Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Producers. I've seen parts of those movies, and I've never seen them all the way through. I just realized it yesterday.
I'm still like on a binge of like.
No, I think Mel Brooks was doing an interview, and I was like, yeah. And he's talking about some of his other movies. I was like, yeah. And he's talking about parts. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You just have a special coming out on HBO soon.
Yeah, I think that's what he was promoting. I think it was like a one-man show or whatever. And Mel Brooks is a fucking... Don't get it twisted. Mel Brooks is a genius. And the parts I did see of those movies were awesome. I mean, Dave Chappelle is in one of them.
I saw that part of Men in Tights.
Yeah, Richard Pryor was a
Gesundheit.
writer on Blazing Saddles. I mean, for Christ's sake, that's... I feel ashamed that I have not seen it. And maybe one day I will have time enough to burn through those movies. But I've never seen them. So
Yeah, you can stop after Robin and Men in Tights. No reason to see Dracula Dead and Loving It.
what about Life Stinks? Can I watch that?
Life stinks. They showed that on HBO like all the time back in the day. All the time.
Show it in between movies.
Yes, it's like little 50. It was probably the 15-minute clips that you were seeing in between the films.
That's all that they can show
So,
legally by the
yes.
FCC.
They would allow the rest of this movie.
Not allow the rest of this movie to be shown.
It's like watching The Ring. It's like it will kill you 7 days later.
Mel Brooks called you. You're gonna die. In
You're
7
gonna
days.
die, but you're gonna.
All right, Matthew, go ahead. All right, tell me something. Tell me something.
Tell you something. All right. My name is Matthew, and I once yelled at some kids in a theater while watching Wall-E.
You son of a bitch!
And to be fair, I'm not ashamed of it.
You should be.
At the time, okay.
The first step of a problem is admitting you have a problem.
Well, I mean, there is frame of reference around this story. I mean, I was watching the film, trying to watch it peacefully in a darkened theater.
Trench coat.
In a trench coat, way in the back. Nobody with me at all.
Kids film by yourself.
And there were kids running up and down the aisles during a movie, and the parents were just like, "Yeah, do whatever you want." And eventually, they ran past me a few times, and I yelled at them, "Say, can you please sit down? I'm trying to watch the movie." And then they sat down and watched the movie.
You scared the living shit out of them.
I opened my trench coat and showed them something.
Look at this, kid! Look at this!
You
You
ever
want to see Wall-E?
This is the real Wall-E. Call it Ball-E.
Oh god.
Oh, Jesus.
No, it didn't go that far.
He's now been put on a sexual offenders list.
I've now admitted my problem. It's like a cop
You
trap.
cannot be within 30 yards of a playground.
Oh,
Kids, man, they don't know what the fuck is going on. They just happen to be out of the house. They don't get-
fuck! You're a kid watching a kid's movie. Watch the movie. I don't think I'm wrong here.
I think you're wrong here.
Okay.
Get the manager. Let the manager deal with it. You're not in charge.
I was pissed. I'm trying to watch this movie. Plus, I didn't really like the movie in the first place, so I'm already like disappointed.
Oh, that's more to be ashamed about.
I'm like, Wall-E. Okay, you're gonna say Wall-E's like the best, one of the
No,
best
Incredibles.
Pixar movies.
Incredibles is. Or Up.
I wouldn't even put Wall-E in the top 5 Pixar movies.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
I think I would.
Yeah,
This is not simply proud of yourself.
Simply grouchy.
As long as you're not putting Cars 2 there.
Oh God, is that a Pixar film?
Yeah.
I was like, we got shit
Both
to do
of them
with
were.
Pratt. Good luck with that Planes movie.
It's like after that they realized that they had a problem, so they took a year off before they came back.
Yeah.
They went to rehab. They were sitting in a circle just like this.
They saw Dr. Drew. I've diagnosed you from afar. You obviously have been making bad movies.
All right, Dan, this is a safe place. Admit something to us that
We're
you've
all
never.
friends now.
You're all.
Right. I'll admit my first one's kind of weak, but I was hard time coming up with things. But yeah, my name is Dan, and I have to admit that I've never ever watched one episode of The Sopranos.
Whoa.
Okay.
Do you have Italian blood? Because if you do, not anymore.
You're gonna get a blood transfusion.
No. Yeah, I came on when I didn't have HBO, and I never went back and watched it. So I watched most of all the HBO shows, but that's one one of my list of shame, probably the biggest TV list of shame that I have.
So, like, if somebody says, "Man, that ending on Sopranos was so fucking annoying," you have no idea what they're talking about.
Well, I know the ending because it became such a huge part of pop culture. Like, that people were parodying it all over the place. So, which kind of makes it hard to go back and watch it when you kind of know how it ends, just because of how popular the ending is. But
you know what's funny? I think that's okay. I hear a lot of.
Just the thing, should we be shaming people on this segment or not?
I think health reasons we shouldn't, but for our reasons we should.
we want to be funny here.
If we were going to be responsible people, we wouldn't.
Boo this man!
We're so irresponsible. We should.
I feel like that scene in Half Baked where it's like, you ever suck dick for marijuana? I've seen them. Can't say I have.
You're Bob Saget at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's Bob Saget.
Oh man.
Sorry. Okay, you can be the guy from the real world, the other black guy.
All right. Here's my second. I'm really. I don't believe I'm even saying this, but my name is DJ Valentine, and I've seen more hours of Gilmore Girls than Sons of Anarchy and Mad Men combined.
Wow. That is
the two most manliest shows ever made.
Well, the question is, how much Gilmore Girls have you watched? Is it like you watch 1 hour and then you watch none of the other shows, or
I've watched none of the other shows, and I've probably seen every episode of Gilmore Girls.
Wow.
wow.
So the scales are tilted way in Gilmore's favor. I could watch a whole season of Sons of Anarchy and not be close. I never got into Sons of Anarchy. I don't know, something about bikers. I was never Easy Rider. I've never been like, oh, this is awesome. I've never been into. The best biker I've ever seen was the guy from Raising Arizona.
Randall T-Scott.
That's the only time I get into. And Mad Men, I know Justin. That's like his antidote or whatever. But I never got into Mad Men. I guess I'm just gonna wait till it ends. I think it's ending this year, and then one day I'll just binge through all 25 episodes of it. I remember how many episodes the goddamn show has at this point.
So what is it about Gilmore Girls that you like? Is it just all the talking all the time?
Yeah, I'm a big dialogue snob, and I mean I love Aaron Sorkin and stuff. And I think in Gilmore Girls they were doing the His Girl Friday type of quick dialogue, and for some reason. I know I shouldn't be watching it, Dan. I'm ashamed of this, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, the one I have coming up, it's going to make this look amazing, so don't worry.
But no, it's because I'm a big fan of films like Double Indemnity, and there's a speed limit in this town. It's 45 miles an hour. I love that kind of speaking. And then this is kind of like a modernized version of it, where everybody is on. There's no wicked pausing. If you love Aaron Sorkin, you would probably like the way or Veep. Or the stuff like that, you would love that kind of. I love that kind of dialogue. And then Sons of Anarchy just hitting people with tire irons and dragging guys on the back of their motorcycles for 15 yards. I don't know. I never got it. And I know people love Sons of Anarchy. I know it's one of the greatest FX shows of all time. I just never got it. And Mad Men I know is amazing. I love John Hamm. I love Moriarty. I forget his real name right now. He's Richard Burton, the guy from Unforgiven Son. I forget his fucking name.
Richard Burton's son.
Is it Richard Burton? No, it's not Richard Burton. It's
Richard Burton was
Harris.
English pop.
Harris.
Richard Harris. Richard Burton. What the fuck?
Richard Burton.
Sorry.
But I just never got into it. It's funny. It's because I've probably seen more hours of the OC than I've seen of both of those.
Wow. This is just going down. This
See, and you give me shit.
I know, I do.
I kind of want to hug you and like say it's gonna be okay and be like,
Bridge.
I want to be like in Fight Club where what's the name, Meatloaf is hugging Edward Norton
It's you're gonna hug me,
in my bosom, but at the same time it's like, bitch, shut up.
Look at me, jump off the roof.
His name was DJ Valentine.
All right, Matthew, give me your number 2.
All right, number
so I can judge you. God damn.
I can't wait. I love being judged. I like being biblical. Okay, here we go. My name is Matthew, and I think I enjoy Spider-Man 3 out of all the Spider-Man films.
What?
The most?
The most.
What?
I had an epiphany the other day.
What the fuck? Epiphany, or you hit your head?
And I was watching all the scenes with James Franco in Spider-Man 3.
Yes, they're amazing.
And I was thinking to myself, like, you know what? This is really entertaining, and I don't think I was as entertained in any of the other Spider-Man movies, including 2 and 1, than just the screen time of James Franco basically pulling a Bill Murray from Ghostbusters and saying, you know what, fuck this movie, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. And I find that so amazing that he did that. I mean, the pie scene, how good is the pie scene?
Pie scene's amazing, okay? I'm giving you these.
How good is the strawberry scene? How good is the strawberry scene?
It's perfect. It's awesome.
How good is the scene in the hospital? He's like, there he is. You combine all these Francoisms in Spider-Man 3, and to me, that's what makes it the best.
Okay, this is why I'm judging you, Matt. I did not. Again, you know how much I love the pie scene. The pie scene's awesome. So good.
It's so good.
But I did not pay money to watch a Pineapple Express movie. I paid money to watch
Maybe
a Spider-Man.
I did.
And I think you might have.
And
I got 3 words for you. 3 words. Elevated train fight. There's nothing in Spider-Man 3 that comes close to that fight scene between Dr. Octopus and Spider-Man. Nothing.
And that's just the fight scene. It's like, okay, the fight scene is amazing, but I think collectively as a whole, there's so much awful shit. It's like watching something you would watch on Mystery Science Theater. And maybe my sensibilities have changed since I saw Spider-Man 3 in the theater. Yes. And watching it now, my priorities are different. And I'm looking for something that isn't as earnest or isn't as serious or isn't as important to watch. It's like
you want to find shit.
I want to find the silliness. It's like I want to see silly James Franco. I want to see emo Tobey Maguire getting down on the dance floor.
No, you don't.
Come on now.
I love the scene where Peter Parker calls out Eddie Brock and he's like, "You're trash, Brock." That to me is fucking hilarious.
It's not meant to be hilarious, though.
But to me, it is. And it's like I laugh at it. It's really, really funny. And
you're trash, Brock.
You're trash, Brock.
Wow.
About that when he slams his head against the mirror, and then soon-to-be Oscar winner J.K. Simmons goes, "What the fuck is going on in here?"
There's so many fun, just weird shit going on where it's like nobody gave a fuck anymore. And maybe I like that.
What about the whole, making Sandman Uncle Ben's killer? And
yeah, I don't know. To me, it's like, that's silly too. But at the same time, it's like they gave no fucks at the end of the series where it's like, okay, that's fine.
Again, I'm still judging you here. You realize that that movie is the reason there's an Amazing Spider-Man 2? You know that, right?
And I haven't seen that one, so
that is patient zero, motherfucker. No. I'm telling you right now, if you watch Amazing Spider-Man 2, you're gonna take back all this because that is fucking the ground level reason why we have Rhino. Well, you know what's funny? By this admission, you might fucking love
Amazing Spider-Man 2. All right.
There's no Francoisms in that, though. I don't know.
See, I want Francoisms. That's
the whole shitload of fucking what's his name? Giamatti's.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, come fight me! I am the Rhino. You have a bunch of those fucking.
Oh man, okay, maybe I will watch it.
I don't believe that sold you.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow. I don't know how you guys recover from that.
I don't know. That's pretty fucking awful. I'm not standing with you. Jump!
Kill yourself. Save everybody else from the rest of your stupidity.
You know what I do if I were you, Matt? Kill myself. Dan, go ahead.
All right. Well, might be even worse than that because, I have a pretty solid movie collection, but a few stinkers do kind of sneak in there. So, my name is Dan, and I own not one but both of the Sex and the City movies.
Oh shit!
I'm sure it wasn't your fault though.
No, I think it was his fault. You put money.
I bought them for my wife, but they're in my collection, and she's never watched them. But I own them, so she's like, "Why did you? I don't even want these."
Have you seen them?
I've seen the first one. Yes, I have in the theater. So.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh. I've never seen either one. I mean, I've seen Gilmore Girls. I've seen The OC. I'm proud.
I've seen more Sex in the City than I've seen of Sopranos. So, but, yeah.
That's funny. So Sopranos like, what the fuck?
Get the gabagool for this guy.
Over here. But no, man, I that show is just. There's certain things that just aren't meant for certain people. Like, Xanadu made for me. I understand its greatness. Sex in the City was not made for men.
Well, straight men.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Preface it correctly.
Matthew Bomber loves the fuck out of it, but I'm not. I do not think that show was, or that movie was ever. And somebody was saying the other day that Entourage is essentially Sex in the City for men. I'm like, I don't know.
I think it's dealing with a different type of thing.
Yeah. Is there even a plot to Sex in the City? What the hell goes on in the movie? I don't understand.
It was just like relationship and shopping, and it was not good. Yeah.
I know there's like a Mr. Big.
Yeah, that's like the whole thing. He's like, should I marry this guy? Shouldn't I? And like, I don't really care. So, and somehow she's like an author, but she can afford like all this stuff. I'm like, what book deals do you have?
Yeah, really.
In New York, which is like, if you're rich, you're living in a fucking 1-bedroom apartment with your bathroom in your kitchen.
Yeah, makes their friend's apartment look affordable. It's like, what's going on here?
Dan.
Okay, man. My final admission that I'm willing to admit today, because I've got a whole bunch of shit, but I'm not going to just give it all to you at once. I'm going to give you just a little bit.
You just give us the tip.
This is a tip. Just to see how it feels.
Right.
My name is DJ Valentine. I can't even use names here because it could incriminate certain people. And I once broke up with a girl because of an argument we had over The Devil's Advocate.
Well, were you right though? I mean, that's
yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's up to the beholder. I think it was over me liking it or not.
Well, what was the difference in opinion?
That I liked it and she fucking hated it.
Oh, just in general. Okay, I thought it was like a specific scene.
No, it was just like she was very like, the acting was horrible. I'm like, it's Al Pacino. How you fucking?
It's like, I'm out.
And then I watched it recently. And I was like, oh, every like point she had, I was like, oh.
I was gonna say, I'm kind of on her side on this. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I know. I think I'm on her side too. I think again, it's like 30-year-old me wants to punch 21-year-old me in the face. Like, you stupid idiot. Who cares?
You could have been the one.
You could have been the one. The Devil's Advocate destroyed my only chance for a true love. Al Pacino, he did it. He came into my brain. Oh, but yes, Devil's Advocate. I remember the day. I was in Tallahassee. And I was going to the Governor Square Mall movie theater, and I was coming out there happy as fuck. I was like, that was awesome. And she, it's the argument where they don't say anything because they see that you're happy. You're like, why aren't you talking about it? And then it's like, well, it's okay. Just tell me, it's okay. I don't care what you think.
Oh,
and then
okay.
That was the problem.
I do care.
I do care now. Get it.
I had the same reaction when I went to see Pacific Rim with my wife, and I loved it, and she was not a fan, and that was a interesting ride home. So.
Man.
I'm like, what do you mean you didn't like it? I was like,
Very quiet ride home.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this giant robot's like, yes, I know. That's exactly why this is awesome.
They're fighting lizards? Yeah, it's fucking lizard!
It's like, but why? It's like, Why? It saves the Earth, baby.
Like, where'd that sword come from? What do you mean, where did that sword come from? It was just there, you know.
Like, okay, well, I'm so glad you liked it, honey. It's like, you're right, I did.
Charlie Hunnam has made it on this list twice. All right, Matt, do you have one more thing to admit?
Yeah, one more thing to admit. This was kind of, not so much movie or anything based. This is like more on a recent purchase that I made. Once again, this is sixth grade Matt, elementary school Matt, perusing on eBay. By the way, I'm Matt. I'm Matthew.
Hi, Matt.
So sixth grade year old me decided it was a good idea on eBay to buy a blue recorder.
What?
A recorder. You guys might remember recorders. You used to have
the instrument.
The instrument, like in music class, you would play a recorder.
What is this recorder you speak of?
It's like a plastic flute, and this one's blue. And I'm buying it specifically to learn how to play the recorder so I can play like video game music with it. So sixth grade Matt thought it was a really good idea. And you know what? 31-year-old Matt still thinks it's a good idea. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm very excited to open it and start learning how to play some music on my blue recorder now.
Yeah, the recorder is like the instrument you learn how to play the flute. So.
Yes. So I didn't want to make the full commitment to a flute yet. I still want to just get the recorder.
Ironically, Dr. Manhattan's penis, he calls it blue recorder.
Really? Man, we were playing a skin flute.
Skin flute. This is Dr. Manhattan's blue skin flute.
Explains the high pitch, you know.
Yes. So yeah, I'm kind of excited, but at the same time, like, what?
Don't excited. Don't stop being excited.
Sorry, yeah.
I want to crush your joy. Let me crush your joy. Put your joy down on the table and let me crush it with this hammer.
It's like you're crushing my nuts.
Don't
worry, my nuts have been crushed long ago. It's fine.
Oh God, man!
Can't wait for I'm gonna write a theme song for a podcast. With the
Please, for the love of Christ, don't.
It will be. It would be the new theme song, Matt. It'd be like me being Kenny G, kind of.
You know what's funny? Do it. Go ahead.
I will.
I'm gonna.
You're gonna rue this day.
I'm gonna play it under the entire podcast.
Yes. It's gonna be like, what the fuck is this high pitched
pseudo
flute noise?
Hyper is somewhere in the background. Luring children. Are you going to use this thing to go to movie theaters like Wally in a trench coat and play
yes,
a blue,
of course.
Yelling
my blue recorder. I don't know why I bought it in blue. There were other colors, but for some reason I got it in blue. Maybe.
Watchmen got you over.
The ultimate Freudian slip.
Jesus. Blue. Oh, man. I got nothing. I have no counsel for you, my friend. This is where Yoda would go, yeah.
Yeah. I got nothing for you.
I got nothing, Luke. You're fucked. I can't. Your dad is Darth Vader. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. All right, Dan, you got one last one in you?
Yeah, this is going to be pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. So get prepared for it.
Can't be any worse.
I killed 7 people. I'm a murderer.
No, but I have. I do have to admit that I've watched more Glee than any guy ever should, and there's actually a couple songs I do honestly think are pretty decent. So,
what are the names of these songs?
It was a cover of In the Deep, or the Adele song.
Okay, Rolling in the Deep.
Yeah, and then The Scientist, cover of Coldplay, which I don't know if that makes it any better.
You're laughing at your own admission.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, the thing is, my wife likes the show, and then you know, she's watching it, and then I'll sit down. It's like a car wreck that you can't turn away from. And you're just like, I can't believe this is a thing that's happening. But it's like, these are things that people watch, and then yeah, I mean, it's an awful show. It is horrible in a lot of sense, but yeah, there's at least one or two times where it's like, you know, Leah Michele, I think, is a legit singer, like, you know, she's a Broadway singer, but so they actually might get a good song in there, but everything else around it is pretty awful.
What character did Grant Gustin playing Glee?
Is it the Flash?
Yeah.
He's the Flash.
He played, the sad thing is I do know this. He played one of the Warblers, which is like this all boy
the
team.
Male acapella group.
Yeah, and he was like the evil guy. He was like, he went up.
Gus was the evil guy.
He was
Professor Zoom.
He's Reverse Flash.
And the thing he did that was super evil was he threw a slushy into someone's face that had like rock salt in it, so
Whoa.
to make it super bad. Yeah. So.
Ow! What the fuck is going on in this show?
Man, that's when I
it's
stopped kind of watching it, so I don't know.
Yeah. So my wife was watching it this morning, so it was.
Isn't it?
It is.
Didn't they cancel that show?
No, it's last
the final
season.
season.
How many seasons did that show get? And
5.
I want to say this. How many seasons did that show get? And I'll compare it to Firefly.
It got 5 seasons.
Holy fuck!
Yeah.
Firefly got half of a season.
That show makes so much money too, just with the iTunes stuff. And you know what's sad though is like I was at Home Depot today buying paint, and there were songs playing, and there was a song playing, and it was a cover, and I'm like, this is a Glee cover, and I was mad at myself for knowing that.
Get out of Home Depot immediately.
You went to the front.
We use this for profiling purposes. You're not a man.
They were just trying to weed out anybody who's not a man. Someone came up to you, sir, you don't know where anything is. We know you don't because we know the song. This is
Pretty bad.
Oh boy.
This has been Simply Ashamed. Exploiting an emotion that I haven't felt since I touched myself to the opening of Terminator 2. Those exoskeletons are so friggin' hot.
Oh God! All right, Matt. Give everybody our information.
Such a sad state. All right. Kind of got a lot of stuff to go over today. I'll go quick. I'll be like a micro machine guy today.
Good.
All right. The site. We are Simplistic Reviews. You can visit our site at simplisticreviews.net or still be redirected with simplisticreviews.blogspot.com. Visit us on Facebook. Look for Simplistic Reviews on Facebook. You'll find us. YouTube. YouTube.com/Simplistic Reviews 1. We've got quite a few videos on there, including our podcasts. We're on Twitter at Simple Tweeters. Letterboxd. Check out our reviews, lists, everything on Letterboxd. Look for Simplistic Reviews. You'll find that stuff there. We are now on Stitcher, the Stitcher app, so you can listen to all our podcasts right on Stitcher or TuneIn Radio. You can also go to TuneIn Radio and listen to our podcasts that way as well. And you can also download on iTunes if you want to do that. Go that route as well. We have the Simplistic Reviews app on the Amazon Marketplace. You can download that right onto your Android device and enjoy our app via that. And also a few kind of promos I'm going to promote right now. Slaughter Film, they're still giving us reviews for their Action Movie Time Machine, and we've actually been in talks with them where we're actually going to start doing a video, kind of video reviews of Action Movie Time Machine and our 7 levels of Netflix Hell. So that's coming soon on slaughterfilm.com and simplisticreviews.net. And one more promo, and this is for something that's coming up in September in the state of Florida. A friend of my wife, Nicole's, is putting together a book con or something like that, like a book convention or authors convention.
Okay.
And it's called Speculative Fiction Southeast 2015. It's basically kind of I don't want to say fringe novels, but kind of self-published novels. A lot of up and coming authors. They write a lot of sci-fi, horror, fantasy stuff like that. You can check their stuff out on sfse2015.com or check them out on Twitter at sfse2015 and get some information for that. And the con is going to be taking place right outside of Orlando in September, but we'll probably talk more about that later on. So, yeah, that's all the stuff.
Yeah. And before we let you go, Dan, and let you promote your show, are you prepared for us to go inside the podcaster?
I hope so. I I don't know. Like after my Glee emission, I don't know if there's more we can get
It's not going to be as gay as you think.
It's not in that way.
Or
all right.
is it?
We were going to ask Dan some pertinent questions to go deeper into his psyche. His psyche. I said psyche.
Psyche.
Dan, are you ready?
I am ready.
Would you want to be a Kung Fu master or a Jedi Knight?
Ooh. I go Jedi Knight. Because I think Jedi kind of have Kung Fu skills. So you get a little bit of both.
Okay, all right. No sex for you, though. No more sex for you.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, too late. You picked one.
No sex.
Sober.
The Jedi does not crave these things. Who is your favorite Ghostbuster?
Peter Venkman.
Oh, not Melissa McCarthy?
Not yet.
Okay.
Give her time.
Which film would you rather try and survive through? Dawn of the Dead or The Thing?
Ooh. I'd go Dawn of the Dead. Because at least I know what I'm killing.
That's true. That's very interesting.
Very thoughtful.
Mm.
John McClane or Martin Riggs?
John McClane.
We're never going to get a Riggs on this.
I think we're going to get
Nobody's ever going to say Riggs.
0 for 3.
Welcome to the party, pal. Would you rather see The Mask fight Beetlejuice or Gary Busey fight Nick Cage?
I'm going to go with Gary Busey and Nick Cage.
It's a battle of crazies. Which crazy battle do you want to see?
Because here I'm screaming, I'm a vampire the whole time. Oh, okay. If you could unmake one film, what film would that be?
That is interesting. I'll go with Indy 4. We talked about it earlier.
You already did unmake it because you never met it the first time you mentioned it.
I thought about seeing Phantom Menace, but I felt if we undid that, we may not get the new. We never maybe get George Lucas to get out of Star Wars. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Indy 4. There's something good that came from it.
Blessing in disguise, that movie.
Yeah.
If I added 10 years to your life, but for 10 straight years, every film and TV show you watch would be awful, do you take it?
Ooh. I'd go with no, because I wouldn't be worth it.
You're alive for 10 extra years.
I know, but after you hit 90, does it really yeah.
You can't even control your poop anymore.
Yeah.
You're shitting yourself
Yeah,
watching.
it's constantly for 10 years.
It sucks.
No more diapers. The most attractive Muppet.
Wow. I can't. The one from the band, I can't think of her name.
Janice. This is Janice in a row.
We're 2 for 2 so far.
Everybody wants to fuck Janice. What is going on here?
Totally
Miss Piggy's
cool,
come on.
man.
Everybody wants to fuck the pig. I don't believe it.
It's not Black Mirror now.
Only people who watch Black Mirror will get that joke. Like, what the hell is Black Mirror? What is a film that everyone else loves that you absolutely fucking hate?
Man, that's tough. I wonder. Trying to think of something. Hate's a strong word, but maybe The Thin Red Line. I'm not a huge fan, but I know a lot of people love that movie.
I know Adrian Brody's in your camp. I was supposed to be the star. What the fuck happened?
Jim Caviezel happened. If you could kill one cinematic hero, who would that be?
Wow. Are we thinking like actor or character?
Character.
John McClane, so we can stop making Die Hard movies.
Ooh.
Don't worry. How are you gonna pick McClane?
Earlier.
McClane or Rick? McClane.
I mean, like they said, either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
He's Harvey.
He is Harvey Dent. The ultimate Two-Face. We didn't even know we had.
I was trying to fight the mob.
You wouldn't dare try to justify yourself. Oh.
God, what is your favorite use of a curse word in a film?
I'm going to go with X-Men First Class when Magneto and Xavier visit Wolverine and he tells him to fuck off.
Very good.
That's very good. It's like Magneto curses? Oh, no. Wolverine does.
Yes.
My favorite moment of that movie is it's only one word. It's the word "but," It's when Magneto is talking to, spoiler alert, Kevin Bacon, and he goes, "I believe everything you say, but." Mother.
Nothing matters before, but.
I love that. Watch that scene again. It's so fucking awesome. Anyway.
Alright. And finally, if heaven existed and Morgan Freeman was in fact God, what would you like to hear him say to you when you reach the pearly gates?
Oh, wow.
Morgan Freeman's like, get out of heaven.
It's like, never mind.
It took too long.
I forgive you for that Glee thing.
Morgan Freeman as God is like, you watch Glee, son?
Show about that.
He's a lean on me, Morgan Freeman. Jump! Don't fuck around with it, son. Do it.
Oh, if only Morgan Freeman was him from Glee. That'd be awesome.
All right, Dan, the floor is yours. Plug your amazing show.
Well, yes, right, amazing is a strong word. But my show is Talking in Circles. It comes out every Tuesday. Get it at geekcastradio.com, on iTunes, all that great stuff. I'm on Twitter at Movie Revolt, and you can find all my stuff at Geekcast Radio. Also on Letterboxd at Movie Revolt, and Facebook, search Talking in Circles or Geekcast Radio Network.
All right. Well, for Dr. Manhattan's Blue Skin Flute, and for the Grant Gustin Rock Salt Slushy Thrower, I'm Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark.
And I want you to jump.
I'm the HNIC here.
Thanks for listening. Have you seen Lean on Me? It is like the greatest bad movie.
It's really good.
Yeah, I watched it last year for the first time.
Morgan Freeman is like not the Morgan. I don't think people who know Morgan Freeman realize how fucking amazing
That's
he is.
That's the anti-Morgan Freeman movie.
It's the anti-Morgan Freeman movie.
I love how like the one scene he gets all the kids, like the troubled kids, brings them onto stage and kicks them out of school. It's like, go. I'm like, that's not like how you do that.
An administrator would do to kids in his school?
I was like, wait a minute, you'd be sued off your ass. I don't give a fuck, I got a bat. All right.
The motherfucking 80s.
It's like, yeah, no wonder your school's doing well. You took all the kids that weren't good out of it.
That's how they pass the FCATs.
The Simplistic Reviews podcast is made possible by Purina Brand Dog Food and donations by viewers like you. Sorry, that's a lie. These lunatics get to do this whether they have sponsors or not. They have some mysterious stipend of cash which they choose to waste on rambling incessantly about movies and TV. You want to know what I'd spend it on? Cocaine. I'm talking copious amounts of uncut, pure Colombian cocaine. Oh yeah. That's Scarface.
I don't think you've changed a thing. Go on, jump.
No, I don't want to jump.
Yes, you do. You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you? Look at me, boy. Don't you smoke crack?
Yes, sir.
You know what that does to you? Huh?
No, sir.
It kills your brain cells, son. It kills your brain cells. Now, when you're destroying your brain cells, you're doing the same thing as killing yourself. You're just doing it slower. Now, I say if you want to kill yourself, don't fuck around with it. Go in and do it expeditiously. Now, go in and jump. Jump!
No, I don't want to kill myself, sir.